You're muted.
Still muted.
Good
Hello,
morning.
morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It is Friday. What is today? It is Friday. I was just gonna say it feels like Friday. I feel good.
So, when did you get up? At 5?
My alarm went off at 5, but I got up probably like 5:15.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is normal for you, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, well, I'm on your schedule, but probably a different routine, no meditation, no that I kind of just journal a bit and think and then sometimes I go to the gym and sometimes I work, but it's the quiet time, let's say.
So Leopoldo is still asleep?
Yes, yeah. So he usually, I mean, he's an early riser as well, I have to say. So he kind of takes after me. So he rarely sleeps past 7:30 or 8, unless he's like really, really, really tired from like a, super hot, busy kind of day before.
But
Yeah.
when does he have to go to school?
So he's on camp school's finished.
Ah,
Yeah.
already.
Yes. Yeah. It
Okay.
finished. The last day was the 8th of June.
Okay.
So he's going to summer camps, and the camp he's at the moment is just like literally around the corner, and it starts from 8:45. I mean, you drop off between 8:45 and 9. So I've
Okay,
been
that's
waking him up at 8, so
yeah,
he's,
that's
yeah,
easy.
easy. Yeah, exactly. So I have quite a long space beforehand.
Very good. Yeah, welcome. So, let's get started. The today is all about getting to know you, getting to know your routines, and so as it's only the two of us, you have the privilege that it is much more catered to your, like to your needs, to your specific
Hmm.
life. And I don't know, have you had a look at the portal already? So
No,
what?
I haven't actually. I was going to try and do it before we spoke, so I need to do that after we do the session.
So let me share my screen
Yes,
because
yeah.
I show you the not the portal, but there is a workbook.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask you to download the workbook, and
Mm-hmm.
because I show you, um, so there is a little bit explanation, and then there is a little bit of, like the basic housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is, we will go today through um, this, and this is all about, like getting to know you and your specifics. And I would also ask you to use this one. This is like a symptom tracker in case you
Mm-hmm.
already have symptoms. And
Mm-hmm.
I would love you to, like note what, symptoms you already have and what intensity. And we come back to this in the last week. So
Okay.
we want to assess this, when before we start and when we finish.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I have already told you this yesterday. So we will have a weekly 1 hour-ish session like
Mm-hmm.
today, and then there is a weekly teaching session where it is a little bit nerdy stuff, with the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
scientific backgrounds. And this will be 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and I will record this. So in case
Mm-hmm.
we already talked about this, you will have the opportunity to watch the replay, which is all in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is this workbook, and I will also upload, of course, these sessions, because you are the only one who has access to it. So
Mm-hmm.
they are not accessible for someone else. So you
Okay.
can rewatch them if you like. And then on Saturdays, well, so maybe next week it's a different day, we have the embodiment sessions. And
Mm-hmm.
this is This will be yoga, like we will probably have two yoga sessions, and this will be around 1 hour to 1 hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then there will be two dancing sessions, so
Mm-hmm.
dancing and like specific dances. And we will have when we work on the nervous system, we will have like more a meditation style
Mm-hmm.
session. So it will all be always something be to experience, something embodied. And for the yoga session tomorrow, I hope you have a mat.
Yes, I do. I have a
Ah,
mat. Yes.
very good. So, and it would be what kind of mat do you have? Is it
It's
very foamy or quite
it's
thin?
quite it's in between.
Okay, so the best mats for the yoga are always these kind of they're called sticky mats.
Okay. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the squishy, the ones that slide on the floor, but the ones that really sit on the floor. So I hope
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got
No,
that
it's
one.
I mean it doesn't slide. This one I have used it for yoga before.
Okay, then
But it's
it's
not
fine.
the one, it's not the super thin one, but it's fine
Yeah.
for yoga. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And it would be best if you wear something like leggings,
Okay.
because if you wear very loose clothes, then I cannot see anything. So
Yes. Okay.
in case I correct you, it's better to have a leggings, then I can see more.
Sure.
And in case you have, would be very good if you have some kind of blankets, like firm blankets, not
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
um, cushy ones. And let me show you. So, for example, I have these blankets. There are, like not very, like
Thick.
comfy
Yeah.
to cuddle with, but they're like kind of thick cotton blankets. So
Okay.
something like this, and not too like too soft. And then if you have something like this, you probably don't. This is like a, like a bolster, but
Yeah.
as it happens, I have it on my sofa, something like this, like
Okay. Yes, I have
so.
a sofa thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so something like a very, like harder cushion, something like this, so
Mm-hmm.
more thicker. And if do you happen to have a belt or something? Like, yeah, I have this one. It's
I have a rubber band.
okay,
I
so
don't
for
know.
like
Yeah.
exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, or you can or have something from a rope, like
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
bathrobe, something
Oh,
like a
yes.
belt.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a
Yeah,
bathrobe
that's
belt
fine.
somewhere. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, okay.
Bathrobe
And if
belt.
you happen to have something like this, you probably don't. Like it's a block, or you have a thick book.
I have I have a thick book. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
have a block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Okay, and so what I'm writing here in the housekeeping is that it's very so we and let's say the success or the level of transformation you will see and have during these 6 weeks depends, of course, on me. I pour into you everything I know, everything I see, and everything I can, like point you to. But it's also important that, like implementing it and that you also do your work. So
Of course.
it's a co-creation. And so, and where everywhere this is consistency is key. So it's very important, and that's why I love this kind of format, because it's not like a retreat where you go to and you have a very special couple of days and then you go back to your routines. So for me, I love this because it is directly within your day, and
Yeah.
you can try to implement small things. It's very and it doesn't have to be big changes or things, but it is very important to, like to consider small changes every day and they compound.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, it's great like that actually.
So, before we start with the assessment, I would love to tell you to tell me what is your, like your routine. So, when do you get up? You already told me. What do you do then? So just tell me a very, like typical day
Yeah,
during the week
so
and on the weekends.
yeah, so usually during the week I get up around 5 and then I'll come down and I will journal a bit, so reflect and then I'll have a coffee and I might write to some of my friends in New Zealand. I kind of keep it as time to myself. And then if it's Monday or Wednesday, I then go to the gym. Oh, so I do a group class on Mondays at 7:30. And on Wednesdays, I do a personal training class at 6 a.m. And then I come back and then I, look
Like
after.
I'm sorry, and the group
Mhm.
training, what kind of group training is it? Like what?
They're kind of it's usually like circuit or Tabitha.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I do, depending on what because it's the same teacher, so depending on what she does on the Monday, then on the Wednesday she'll either do a Tabitha or circuit strength training. And then I come back and then obviously get Leopoldo up and do, kind of do the get him ready for school or campus and have a shower and prepare myself.
How
And
do you do it when he goes to school? So now it's a different time because he's at camp.
so when he's at school, well, the 6 a.m. one, I get back and wake him up. So because I leave at 6 and come back at 7:05. So he usually gets up at 7:30. And on the Mondays, I would drop him at a friend's place at 7:30.
Okay, when does the when then does the school start?
8:20. So we
Okay,
leave the house at like 8 to 10 past 8.
yeah. Okay.
Um, and then I will usually call my mum after I've dropped him off to check in to see how she's doing in New Zealand. Not always, but maybe. Try to at least every second day. And then in the midst of all of that, I've probably answered a couple of emails just like but on the phone. And then if it's Tuesday, Thursday or Friday, I'll probably start working before I get Leopoldo up and get a few things in place and kind of organize. Yeah, I kind of do a bit of work. I do work as well, and then it's just non-stop kind of calls
So it's
until.
is
Mhm.
it like Zoom calls or phone calls?
Mainly Zoom calls, and phone calls, so a mix of the
Yeah.
two. And I mean
And
the
this is
days
like every day.
every day. Yeah, yeah.
And Zoom calls with clients.
With clients and brands. And then updating spreadsheets. I mean the week can be quite varied, but yeah, usually it's quite heavy on calls.
Okay, and just curious, I mean, before COVID, you traveled much, much, much more than now,
Yes.
but that Zoom calls all day. What you didn't have so many calls before that, right?
No. Yeah, exactly.
So is it that people demand more, like calling time, or what
Um,
changed?
I would say that it's a bigger scope of work as
Mm.
well. And yeah, it's a bigger scope of work and more business to manage, and then
Yeah.
more people to manage as well, like more people, physical people.
You mean
Um,
like employees?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
how many do you have right now?
I think we're 13 or 14.
13.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And Zoom calls until when?
Uh, 4 or 5, depending.
Okay.
But then, I mean, it's quite varied though, because in some days I might have a client visit. Sometimes I might be I might be traveling, and then sometimes I might be allocating more time to planning. So, for example, if it's before a show, obviously there's a lot of planning
Sure.
around that side of things.
How often do you travel, like average? Every week or every 2 weeks?
I mean, now it's a little bit different, but yeah, I would say the usual average would be once a week or once every 2 weeks. But
Hmm.
like, nothing like overnight or day or,
Yeah. Short trips.
yeah.
Okay. And so you work until 5 o'clock, and then?
And then I pick up Leopoldo and then I still work, but it's more like answering things like on the side. So not computer, not necessarily desk
Hmm.
side. And then I mean, it changes. I mean, during a normal school, just during the school year, I would pick up Leopoldo, come back home, have a chat and everything, and then he goes to an after school to like a karate or some kind of activity. Then I would usually be back and
You
doing
bring
the
him there. So you pick him up and
and
drop
then
him off
he
at the
yeah,
karate or whatever.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And then I would usually do a call while he's at karate
Yeah.
or finish off like usually have a call when he's at karate.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back at 7 and then do the dinner and then clean up and then spend time with him afterwards.
Okay. Um, and you spend after dinner, you spend time with him and until he goes to bed?
Yes, yeah. We usually
And,
go to sleep we would go to sleep at the same time.
okay, which is when?
Uh, well, in summer it's like between 9:30 and 10 early.
9:30 and 10. Yeah. Okay. And in winter it's different?
In winter it's even earlier, like 9 p.m.
Okay. Okay, great. What was different when your husband was around?
The difference would be that I would only do I would have 2 days a week where I didn't do pickup.
Ah, okay.
So I would stay in the office or without the break in between,
Yeah.
3:30 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would do the drop off in the morning on 3 days. So I would go to the office earlier or leave the house before they got up. So start the working day earlier.
So, and how is it now for you? Do you feel that it's more, like that your schedule has become even more intense, or do you, like, is it okay? Do you manage?
I manage, but I would say what the difference is, but it's become particularly busy at the moment, everything with work. So I'm actually working a lot more. I'm not probably spending as much time with Leopoldo in the afternoons at the moment because I'm starting to work from like 5 to 7, computer side
Hmm.
actually.
Hmm.
But that's probably also just the timing with the show, and we've onboarded a few new projects because I mean, the situation, my husband left in a situation with in a financial situation was a bit compromising. So I had to focus on finding new business. Well, I have focused on that for the last 3, 4 months. And so obviously that involves a lot of time just to ensure that I take everything to financial stability, let's say. So it's a kind of a separate moment, I would say, where I'm focusing a lot on building growth to have financial stability. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So because you have been the only breadwinner in the family.
Yeah, because he suddenly stopped contributing without pre-notice of what that stop of contribution would be from January. He halved his contribution, and I had no idea that that was coming. And so I came back from New Zealand and then was in that situation. And then he left in April, but hasn't paid any contribution since April. And so yeah, I was kind of, you know, trying to figure it
Hmm.
all out. But it should all come back from the end of this month. He can start repaying me the backlog and then start with monthly contribution. So yeah, it's a little bit of a particular
Yeah.
time, you know. So it's, I wouldn't say it's like a normal situation, but it's just a moment of yeah, where, you know, I have to double, because I have to double the growth, because I need to take more, because I've always given myself the least amount, so, you know, whatever, but now I actually have to, but then I also have to have more people. So I have to do like a quite an exponential growth
Yeah.
of revenue to, yeah, to
I
manage it
see.
all. Yeah.
And did you guys split up or are you just separated?
No, we're not even separated. So he's
I
just
mean, separated in locally, so like from
yeah.
physically.
Let's say there's two different interpretations.
Yeah.
So there's his interpretation, which he's just gone away. He's chosen New Zealand as the best place for him to, in this moment in his life, for his career. So he's there, and he'll come back, you know, in a few years or whatever. And for him, it's like we're all still together. For me, it's been over for a number of years, like maybe 3-4 years, but I've been waiting for him to be in a emotional, in a more secure emotional personal state before confronting. I don't even want to use the word confronting, before, you know, speaking about the situation,
Does he have
because
mental health issues?
I
Like,
think so, but
yeah.
he probably wouldn't say he does, you know.
Yeah.
But I think he does. He's always been very volatile, up and down,
So what
and
kind of like depression or
I would say like he's very volatile in the terms of he can be quite verbally, like you know, you never know what you're going to get when you come home, and if he's in
okay.
a strange mood, then it becomes
Mhm.
a very heavy download on you, and it's very you know, attacking of
Yeah.
making, and then he feels great after he's, like, you know,
Hmm.
shot you
Hmm.
down completely, and then he'll have really high highs, and then he'll have days where he's just like sleeping, you know. So yeah.
Sounds a little bit like borderline.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I mean, his mum even said to me maybe he's like bipolar, or, you know,
Yeah.
some kind of like bored, because he's very like, it's like this, you know.
Yes. Okay. And
Um,
so you detached from, like the relationship a couple of years ago
I
already.
would say probably from 2019,
Okay.
as someone that's not safe, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And um, but so since 7 years, and you never talked about this.
There were times when I said, you know, not happy, and I confronted it once, and I confronted it in 2023 and said that I wanted to have a break. And then he said, no, we're not having a break. Um, and then I was like, well, why? And he's like, well, no, because a break is like the beginning of the end. So then I just never spoke about it again. Um, and I mean things did. Oh no, then we did come up again last year. I think it was last year, because he was really irrational, and then I started reacting to his irrationality. Because basically, when I was younger, I mean, we've been together like 20 plus years. When I was younger, I was very I would stand up for myself, I would stand up with things. But then since I had Leopoldo and everything, I just decided I just don't want any extra negativity. So I just, became more just submissive, let's say, and just let him attack me and just, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, and just went along with that. And then when my mum had her stroke in 2024, the way that he, when I went to New Zealand for like 5 weeks, that's when I realized how much he'd been conditioning me and how much he'd changed me as a person. And so when I came back from New Zealand in 2024, sorry, I was a bit more, not confrontational, but I would at times, push back on the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we had to talk about it because he went all crazy one day last year. And then I was like, I'm not happy. And he's like, well, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. But, I think if you really think about it, you're probably 95% happy and 5% unhappy. And it's probably your hormones and blah, 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 and all these things. But I was just like, it's just let you think what you need to think and wait. Because to give a context, is um, he took a redundancy package back in 2023 and to start up his own business or whatever, but it never really worked out, and he basically ran out of money. He didn't, even though it was like, oh, maybe just do Uber Eats or deliver in the evenings or just something, to bring in something. And he didn't want to do any of that. And then so the plan was for him to get a job in Europe. And then in February, he was like, oh, look, I was thinking about it. I think I want to go to New Zealand. And I was like, that's fine. So in the end, I mean, this is what I wanted, is like a separation, but I didn't expect it to be so far away.
But so all in all, you were happy with the situation right now?
Yeah,
So,
I am actually. It's much easier. Yeah.
and you don't have to brace yourself for
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
spontaneous attacks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously,
Mm.
my main concern is Leopoldo, because for him, he has had a very secure kind of bubble, let's say, because in the end, we've always done everything together. And yes, he was aware and subject to a lot of volatility, but Simon was very, really it is a lot of fun. Take him out to biking and do lots of guy sporty stuff, and so it's a big change for him. But yeah, all in all, it's I
Did
mean,
did
it's much easier.
did he have a good relationship with him?
Yeah.
So,
They're close. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, and how is he now when he's away?
I mean, it's a change. It's I mean, at the beginning he was very, he's gets upset in the evenings when it's nighttime, and when he feels tired, and he misses him a lot, but he speaks about his feelings. I think he's probably, yeah, it's hard to know, because he's quite kind of get on with it. But yeah, I would say he is suffering though.
Mm.
Yeah, but they talk, they Google chat and have talks, and so, well, I talk about him openly, and we speak, keep him present, and so it's kind of doing, um, but it is a big change.
Yeah, and how was it for him before? I mean, with the attacks, did he, like,
He
was
would
he
always,
present or was
sometimes he would be, I mean, he would try to protect me a lot, I would say. Um, and and he would be also attacked, at times. by Simon. So he would chat to me about we would have an open conversation about the rationality of him, of Simon. So he was aware of, of that. And then he would put him, I mean, lots of fun, but he would also put him under quite a lot of pressure, like come back from school. And if it was the days that he wasn't with me after school, make him do calculus and teach him English, and make him do more work after school, and quite uncompromising. So it's was quite controlling, really, in a way. So I think he's probably missing him, but he probably feels like it's a safer space or easier life at the same time.
Yeah. And less pressure.
Less pressure, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
Wow.
probably quite conflicted with his emotions, I would say.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's you really have a lot of on your plate. That's what I can say. Yeah, wow. Okay. That's super interesting, and brings me to the first question I have here is I mean, I could guess, but what was it that you said yes to right now? What is it, like that brought you here?
Well, I mean, I'm quite open kind of person, to be honest, and I'm kind of curious about thinking differently, looking at things objectively, open to other schools of thought. I mean, I've always been like this, and I guess I feel like it's a time of transition and change. And I don't specifically have any actual concerns about perimenopause or my body or these kinds of things, although I notice changes, but I'm kind of too busy to even, I'm more of a like just get on with everything, but not in a bad way, but more like, but I'm curious to think differently, and just be, I'm just curious. Curiosity, I would say, is
Yeah,
the reason.
very good. And just, like you can do the assessment yourself, but do you already, like you said, you notice changes. Do you already, like have symptoms, or what kind of changes do you experience?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've got loads. I mean, if I deep dive into it, I've got loads of symptoms, I would say.
Tell me.
So I mean, obviously the period changes. I mean, I've had period changes, but for a long time, ever since I had Leopoldo. Like my mum went through menopause young. She was 39.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's the osteoporosis kind of risk and everything. So I started having strange like bleed levels of bleeds from when since 2019, basically.
mm-hmm.
So a lot of extreme, but I have fibroids as well, so that kind of makes a difference there. And the last this year I've had very irregular cycles, like 3 months in between, 3 to 4 months in between cycles. Um,
Do you know the age of menopause of your mother?
39, I think it was.
She went into perimenopause then, or then was the
No,
like,
finished menopause,
wow,
39, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, yes, sweating at night, hot flushes, but the hot flushes, I mean, I've always had hot flushes. Like I remember being like at university in 21, don't know whether it was the contraceptive pill or what, but I would just have hot flushes all the time. So that it doesn't even bother me, like at all. I was kind of used to getting hot and cold. I have so that's fine. Um, what else is, I guess, drier skin. I have no on my body, drier skin. And my joints a little bit more, um, yeah, feel my joints a little bit more. But I don't have brain fog.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, I would say bloating, but I've always had bloating kind of stomach problems as well, with certain foods. So my stomach's always been a bit of uh, any time I've ever done any kind of um home, readings of my body or things like they always say that my weak spot is my stomach as like a um as a thing. And yeah, I guess increased kind of cellulite, these kinds of things that I mean, just the changings of the body.
And weight gain.
I don't weigh myself. I've never weighed. I use
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
does do your clothes still fit or?
Yeah, no, not too bad. I mean, I always measure myself, so I would say if anything, it's more around the stomach area. But no, I'm kind of the same, more or less. I've always varied between 2 to 3 centimeters around my hips and my waist, my whole like
Yeah, so
last 30
pretty
years. So
stable.
I'm pretty stable, yeah.
Yeah.
And I do, I mean, I measure myself often to see where I'm at.
So
So no, pretty stable.
do you measure yourself for this purpose or like muscle gain or anything?
No, weight management.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're exercising twice a week.
Yes.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I quite physical anyway, like I walk everywhere and um I have quite a active lifestyle.
Do you know how many steps you have in a day?
I'd say you're around between 10,000.
Oh wow, every
Yeah.
day.
So, well, no, I'll be between 8,000 to 20,000.
Wow.
So my average, usually I have a Fitbit. Usually my average is, I think, 9,000 altogether.
Mm-hmm. But how do you do it with all the calls? Do you do the
Oh,
calls
it's
while
no,
walking?
because I take Leopoldo to school, come back,
Ah,
run to there's like a lot of yeah,
yeah.
and so the days that I'm back to back on course will be the days where I'm maybe walking to the office and then walking back and then walking to somewhere else and then da da
Oh
da.
yeah, I
So
see.
yeah,
Yeah, so because it's all in walking distance, more or less.
everything, yeah, and also
Yeah.
I'm someone that even if I have a meeting that is, I prefer to walk.
Yeah. Very
So
good.
I'll walk like 20 to 40 minutes rather than taking a metro because I'll
So,
do calls I'll do team calls while I walk.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
And how's your sleep?
My sleep is depends, So I usually sleep quite well, but I mean I'm a bit what's it called? When my mum had her stroke and everything, I asked my brother for some sleeping stuff just so that I kind of when I feel like I need to make sure I sleep well, I'll take something to help me sleep.
So like a sleeping pill.
Yes. Oh my God, I just forgot what it's called.
How often?
I go through stages. Like I can go like a month without not taking anything. To be honest, it depends on how busy I am with work and how much I feel like I need to sleep or not. Because I'm okay sleeping 3 consecutive nights. I mean, I don't sleep much anyway, like 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours. Um, so if I sleep less than 6 hours, 3 consecutive days, then I will take something to make sure that the next night I sleep.
But if you go to bed at 10 the latest and get up at 5, it's 7 hours.
Yeah, but I don't always sleep the whole time.
Okay,
So, I
so
mean, I say I go to bed at that time, but I might, read something, do things until I actually go to sleep. It'll be like,
11.
yeah, 11, or sometimes I will go to sleep at 10 and I wake up at 3
Okay, so
or 4. Yeah.
let's separate this. So you have sometimes when you are quite stressed, when there's a lot going on, then you have trouble going to sleep
Staying asleep, I would say.
because you take the sleeping aids in order to stay asleep,
Yeah.
not to go asleep.
Yeah, no, I fall
Okay.
asleep. I can fall asleep. I fall asleep very easily.
Okay. And you wake up at around 3 o'clock.
Mm. Yeah. Not all the time, but sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. And then you have trouble getting back to sleep.
Yeah, then I don't go back to sleep.
Do you manage after some time or do you stay up?
Depends. I don't have a set thing. Sometimes I just like kind of meditate. I don't mind it, to be honest,
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm stressing or anything, it's just quiet. And sometimes I'll just like stay there and then decide to get up at 5. But if I'm really tired, then I will fall asleep and then get up. But I mean, it doesn't happen as much anymore. And it's usually tied to, I've noticed, to like my cycle or like a moon or something when I wake up
Hmm.
more, when I tend to wake up.
Okay. And are you then super tired after when you wake up and like have something sleep interruption, or is it okay during the day?
No, I'm fine. Yeah.
You're fine. Okay.
Yeah. It's only if it happens in, like, as I said, 3 consecutive days, then
Hmm.
I will get tired. But no, I'm fine
And
actually.
if you take the sleeping aid, is it a restful sleep or is it just, like, do you feel rested
Yeah, I feel
after?
rested. Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. And how was your weekend?
Weekend, it depends. I mean, they're quite varied.
Do you get up later?
Yeah, I'm usually really tired on a Saturday. Um, I'm usually really tired on Saturday mornings. So I usually try to, I mean, I don't sleep in. Well, yeah, of course I sleep in because I don't wake up at 5. I'll go get up at 7:30 or 8 or something like that. And then I usually just relax
So,
for now that Leopoldo is bigger. Just lie in bed for a bit and maybe get up at 8:30 or 9 or something like that. Um, and then it depends. I mean, if he's got like if he's got uh, karate things, then we'll go to. Sometimes he does competitions, so drive somewhere to get there. Um, I mean, no, the weekends are quite there's no real pattern actually.
hmm. Do you
Yeah.
work on the weekends?
Uh, I try not to, but lately I do, but it's more admin. There's a lot of admin to do now. So like forecasting, or if it's the end of the month is always the busiest time to do all the invoicing and um I'll pay the bills, or all those kind of things.
And on Sundays you also sleep in.
Sunday depends because Leopoldo does karting, so some Sundays we get up early to get to so like at 7 to go um to where he goes to do karting.
What is
Um
it?
Go karting,
Ah,
driving.
go-karting. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um and yeah,
And what do you do when he's go-karting?
I just watch him karting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And chat to some of the other mums or, do some of the Instagram posts for work or shares, like there's always something in between.
So you do the Instagram yourself?
No, Greta does most of them, but I do the reshares of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, it's all, there's about 4 people that have access to the Instagram, so everyone does a little bit of something, but the actual programmed feed stuff is Greta, but we don't do much of that anyway. It's just reposting
Yeah, yeah,
when we
I
do the
know.
reposting. Yeah.
And do you feel rested after the weekend?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so to summarize, um, how how much, like of your average working days, within your working days, are you spending just for yourself? So the sport, obviously,
Yeah.
like the 2 hour sport.
Yeah. I mean, I would say definitely more ever since mum had a stroke in 2024, I definitely allocate more time for myself. So
Why?
sometime just to just have time out. It's quite a lot of worry around her and everything, and just to kind of not well, because I know how important it is to have like you know to have an equilibrium and mental health, and to feel
Is it like
not
that you
overwhelmed
is
by.
that your mother's stroke like reminded you of that so that you
No, it's just to increase the pressure and the worry, I guess, and
okay.
responsibility of
So
things.
to balance that out.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Um,
How is she now?
no, she's much better, but she's kind of she's quite difficult to manage because she's like a teenager now with part of the brain, and there's a whole other financial side tied to her too as well. In a few years she'll run out of money, so I need to make sure, well, in 10 months actually she'll run out of, so I need to, work towards being able to cover her side of things. And then my dad's not well, and there's a whole nother bad situation with him as well, with health and everything. So I just, just to kind of not get too caught up in all problems and things, I just allocate time to just sit, on a stop for 10 minutes and kind of write a few things or think a few things and then get back into it. No, I'm quite aware of what needs to be done to, not get caught up and be all stressy. I'm not actually not a stressful person. So I just want to make sure I don't become one of those people, because, you can't control life and outcomes, but you can learn how to manage the impact that they have on you and on everything.
Um, but you don't provide for your mother as well.
Not yet, but I will have to soon, yes.
So another, something, not only your husband, your family, but she as well then. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I see. No, much more, even more pressure. Okay. But she's in New Zealand, right?
She's in New Zealand, yeah.
Is she in a care home or?
Yes, she's in a care
Okay.
home.
So the stroke was quite severe.
Yeah, really severe. So when I went over in 2024, I had to pack up her whole house.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And your dad is still with you in Milan, right? No,
My dad lives in Florence with
and Florence.
my stepmom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said he's also not super well.
Yeah, he's starting to get the beginnings of dementia, and my stepmother is hysterical, and she's quite a difficult person, and she's starting to treat him really bad. Like she just treats him like a imbecile, and it's just a very difficult situation. And but I have my brother, so there's someone else that can help with that situation. But we went down last weekend and ended up having a situation with my stepmother, because it's like, look, you need to accept that he's not the same person anymore. Stop giving him duties to do, because he can't, he's forgetful. I mean, I see you quite stressed, need to find ways of helping you. And then she just went all crazy at me, and then went all mental, and called me in the next day to tell me how horrible I am and such a cold person and blah 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 and all these things. So she's just it's a real that's actually probably a situation which I'm kind of avoiding, because everything else I can see solutions. It's not about control, but I can see solutions of how to. In this one, I just have no idea how it can be helped, because there's not reception on the other side. So
Mhm.
it's like a very difficult situation.
Um, so, taking everything in consideration, how are you?
No, I'm okay actually. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of, I mean, it sounds terrible, but I'm happy that there's that my husband's left, actually, so that there's one element which was quite volatile and very attacking, which is gone. And I feel like there's loads of possibilities, and there's a lot of amazing things around. I mean, I'm a real optimist, so I'm like just focused on all the amazing things that are happening around me. And yeah, so I'm good actually. I'm just probably a little bit more tired at the moment than usual, but that's just because of the accumulation of the last the last couple of years in particular, and the last the start of the month. But no, I feel good. So I'm really happy that I've got like the exercise thing that I started 2 years ago, and just yeah, no, I have to say I'm good.
Okay, and do you sometimes feel like, oh, this is all too much, I cannot handle it? How should because you were talking about the worries, because now okay, you will have to provide for your mother soon, so there's another thing, like that's adding to it, and then your father is, like on the horizon. It's also, there's a lot of, like things to come, obviously. So,
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have one thing which is I'm very fortunate about, is that I don't actually worry.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a warrior.
Yeah.
So
I was
yeah, and
because you
that's,
said the worries and everything, so I
but I
was,
mean, yeah, no,
yeah.
but I mean maybe the concerns, maybe.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that about myself, because I see, and like I don't actually worry, I'm not. So it's more like I don't even know what the word would be. Yeah, no, I don't worry. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I mean, no one, if you were a warrior, anyone under all the, because I'm aware of how much is going on,
Yeah.
and if I was a warrior, then there's no way I would have been able to handle it all, like
So
it's
it's more like you can trust that everything is
yes.
working out.
Yeah, exactly. I believe in I've always realized, like I just do this and I do that. I trust that everything will work out how it needs to work out,
Yeah.
as long as I have the right energy around me. I trust that the universe in the end will give and lead the right and bring the right decisions. And that is why, I guess, going back to your question as to why did you start allocating more time to yourself during the day, is
Mm-hmm.
probably is actually that, because I was aware of how much the weight of things, and then that I needed to sit and just like and I guess in a way you could say it's kind of like meditating in a way, but I know that I'm not meditating, but I'm just sitting there and kind of, switching out of the immediate reality. And yeah, I mean, I trust that at the end, as long as it's so important not to get too caught up in your own thoughts, because, and I'm always like, everything could be worse, I'm like the eternal believer that at the end of the day, I'm lucky, there's so many things, and having gratitude for what you have, and then I guess you see problems in a different way. Yeah.
Just another side question. Do you need that hour from 10 to 11 at night to wind down? Or could you go to sleep at 10 already?
I kind of wind down before with Leopoldo, like we'll watch
Okay.
something together. Yeah. Yeah. So,
You're just using that hour for, like reading something or,
yeah, yeah.
or, like,
But I mean, to be honest, most of the time I fall asleep at by 10,
yeah.
It's more summer now. I notice it's later because I'm doing more everything, and we eat a little bit later and then they clean up everything. And yeah, no, it's that's okay.
And do you feel that you're, what do you wish is different after these 6 weeks? Or what is it, like what like very internally, just for yourself, like wish for what could be better? What could be better now?
What could be better now? No, look, I think for me, after these 6 weeks, I'm curious to see if there's a new idea or approach or insight which I take on board, basically. I'm like a super open to see to understand, and also to like what I mean, a lot of what you spoke about in the session
The masterclass.
the masterclass, is that maybe a lot of it didn't relate to me, but for me, it was curious to understand, because I like to understand people in general, right? So I think any kind of input that you get helps you understand what maybe other people around you are going through, so that you can relate better to situations. So it's not actually just for a personal gain in that way, but it's also to understand, it's
For
more
your
that we want.
employees?
Yeah, and friends and people in general. I mean, I'm fascinated by people,
Yeah.
like behaviors of people, and how so many reactions are obviously learned reactions, and past traumas, or like insecure, just understanding all these dynamics and people, and then maybe be aware if I see changes. I mean, I just want to make sure that I continue and try to be the best, evolve in best possible way. You see people around you, you're certain men, you're like, I don't even want to be like that. I'm just gonna make sure I just remain objective to certain situations.
Okay. And do you feel guilty a little bit too, like spend time for yourself or with yourself?
No,
So selfish or something like that?
no,
No,
no, no,
you don't. Do you
no,
feel guilty spending money on yourself?
no. No, I don't. I don't think so. No,
Do you feel guilty like investing in yourself or bad or something like that?
no, no.
You don't. Okay. And it's interesting that you say that, like, yeah, there is something I feel, like that you say that what you want to achieve, or not achieve, but why we are sitting here. It's also that you would like to, like understand people better. And it's really interesting because although you go through the motions, and I feel that that still this is not something where you say this is just for me. It's again about other people, you know? So
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's my key key. Maybe I will start thinking about myself more by the end of this. Maybe that should be the outcome. I mean, but it's true. I mean, I always think about other people.
yeah,
It's being the provider, and yeah,
yeah, maybe you remember that when I gave you a birth chart reading, you were Cancer rising, and this
yeah,
is all about the mother archetype.
yeah,
So, you know, you with 13 or 14 employees, you're mothering your mother now.
yeah. But
You're,
also, I come from both my parents are artists, and
yeah,
I had to look after them. You know, like I
yeah,
don't come from a. It's also not only the star reading. I would say it's also like the conditioning of
yeah, definitely. And, but, you know, like, I think what I love to ask women and mothers especially is, how good are you a mother to yourself?
terrible.
So, I mean, you know, that's also, it was really interesting. I went to my gynecologist like a year ago, and we were talking about menopause a little bit. And then she said she's not in for, not really for the hormonal therapy. And she said the advice she gives to women when they turn 40 something is you need to spend 1 to 2 hours a day for yourself. And she said
Yeah,
this is the most thing that brings change.
yeah.
So the question I love to ask women and especially mothers is, how good are you at mothering yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm not as bad as a lot of women, you know, like I do, you know, as I said, you know, I take the time out to go and sit down, I do my gym things, I will you know, do like beauty routine, like I do, and maybe it's not as consistent, but I do try to insert it in, you know, sometime. And I guess that's what I never used to at all, but then that's really what I started doing almost automatically as I felt all the intensity of all the situation happening, you know, with everything around me.
And
So, mm.
who? And why? I'm sorry, the light went out. And why did you answer spontaneously that you're really bad at mothering yourself?
Because I guess I think about myself last, you know, but actually I've been working on that, I guess, in a way, you know, of allocating moments, you know, to to myself. Yeah. I mean, because for example, before I would when I would get up at 5, I would always work straight away, you know. So that's something that now I've taken as my own time most of the time.
And when did you change that?
Oh, when did I change that? I'd say it's all around when I came back from
New Zealand
yeah,
with your mother.
that first time. Yeah.
Hmm. And yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what, you know, like I would love to these, you know, the 6 weeks are all about. First of all, so it's really interesting. There are two sides to the story. So there is this, okay, I know what I have to do and I've read about it. I know the background, you know, like I have to do exercises. I have to do things for myself. I have to do, you know, like allocate time for myself. So this is the, I know that I have to do that. But the thing is, there is a I have to in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what I would love for you, you know, like developing within these 6 weeks, because as I said, it's not only the opinion of my gynecologist, but it is so super important because all this transition is all about you transitioning from a provider
Mm-hmm.
for others to a provider for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what nature, you know, like biology is, you know, like designed, has
Mm-hmm.
designed.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said in my masterclass, we as women have been conditioned And I will talk more about this at a different time. We have been conditioned to solely give, 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 give.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of, you probably know that there are a lot of mothers, especially, who are totally burned out because
Mm-hmm.
they're only giving. And
Yeah.
this transition now, the new phase now is the chance for us to change that because
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to get Alzheimer's and all the typical women diseases like or breast cancer, even worse. And I have a theory that breast cancer, for example, every 6 women gets breast cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no cancer of the heart really, because the heart is a muscle and it doesn't get cancer really. So there
Mm-hmm.
are a few exceptions, but my theory is that it is really, in fact, more like a cancer of the heart
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and tied to the feminine aspect, of course, as it is the breast. And so I believe that a lot of women, first of all, they learn like the male way, or they were conditioned to live the male way. So very brain focused, like in the mind all the time, and that the heart-centered decisions, everything, the heart-centered life is not there anymore. So a lot of women are not living from their heart. And this means they're, like all the time, they're out there, they're providing, they're in relation to others, they scan the room, they check whether everyone is okay, and they are always last. So exception, it's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
most of the women.
Mm-hmm.
And what I why this work is so important for me is that I don't want mothers or women to, like when they go into perimenopause or menopause, that they're, like half dead,
Yeah.
and I know so many women who really get serious injury, illnesses, diseases, and that's you can, like you can work not to get there. So
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
can, like there are ways you can prevent this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is really the way, and like combined with a smooth transition into menopause is really time for yourself, but not as, like something on your schedule. Like I have to, okay, allocate, like in allocation ways, but something where you really deeply take care of yourself, but not really like also with, okay, I go to the gym and I do this, but it's also, it's not, like it's a very, like delicate difference. And it's not only, okay, I in my schedule I have 1 hour doing this, 1 hour doing this. It's is also more on a different level, like how do I take myself, how important am I?
Yeah. So it's interesting. I just gonna because you just made me realize something. My mother embodied all of this, just so, but to the extent where I was like secondary to her whole embodiment of her femininity, herself, and the importance of her independence. So it's an interesting observation because don't want I always
To
felt
be
like
like her.
secondary. Yeah, I always felt secondary, and she's always been all about. And the uncanny thing is that in her refusal, because she wanted me to call her Bev, not mother, and I refused to do that. But in her affirmation of herself and femininity and independence, she actually trained me to serve her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I was cleaning the house. So whenever she wanted a cup of tea, I go to give her a cup of tea. You know, or the dinner, if she wanted to go to parties, I would sit around waiting for her to finish the party and then go home. Like, so I was an accessory to her freedom of life. So I understand all of this in importance, but having lived it as the child, I feel that there's an
Yeah.
in-between space of how far you take that. So I think that's yeah, it's really,
Yeah.
so I come from a kid, and whereas my stepmother is the opposite. She's the martyr, the stressed out, the you know, all the things. So it's, for me, I've always tried to find that balance of what kind of woman do I want to be?
Yeah.
How, what far, you know, what is going outside the threshold of giving, you know, security and, you know, love and stability to your children. So it's a really, because my mum is honestly the embodiment of but
Selfishness.
selfishness, yeah, the embodiment of it all.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah,
this is, I totally see where you are, and where you are standing, because you don't want to be like her. So it's like, like never. I don't want to be like that. So selfish. But there are fine differences, because
of
what
course,
you described, she's a narcissist
yeah, yeah,
through and through. So, like she is the queen, everyone serves her, and but this is not what I'm talking about.
no,
You
no,
know
no,
that. Yeah.
of course I do.
Yeah.
No, no, it was just like no, no, I
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
it
of course.
completely.
But
Yeah,
I can now see better where you are at, because you are like, there's this demon, like, oh, this bad, like example,
yeah.
that's,
Although, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's like super caring and giving and, you know, provider to her friends and, you know, always making dinner parties. And, you know, she's a
yeah, but
very
that's,
warm,
yeah,
yeah,
but this is like a queen behavior, Yeah, yeah, of course. You are throwing parties for everyone, like to be in the middle of it,
yeah,
that's not the providing, I would say. I
yeah,
would
yeah, 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 true.
define
It's
as
more of
providing, yeah.
a,
And yeah, I totally can see where you're, where you are standing, because there, all in all, what I see there, there has been a lot of abuse of you, like verbally by your husband, or are you married?
yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, by your husband, and like, and you always, it feels like you by your mother, you were made smaller,
yeah,
because you were, like below her, very
yeah,
clearly below her, and not like an equal. And you made yourself small within your relationship, in order to, like, to buffer and not to get too much,
to be
like,
safe.
yeah, to like, don't attract too much, like, criticism, or, like, accusations. And I think as I said, you go through the motions, what you need to do, because you are a smart person, and you are educated and everything. And I think it's more something like, the word I get is loose. So there's something which is, like, not something like from 8 to 9, I'm doing this for myself. It's more something that I hope that we might achieve something where there's some, like, open space, like
Yes,
something where you just don't have to do anything,
yeah,
yeah, because it's all about doing with you. You have
yeah,
to do time
yes, I know.
with yourself. Something where you just, like, you can just be, and
Yeah.
you don't have to serve someone. You don't have to provide. Where you don't have to do anything. Like something like that. So some space where you can just breathe.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not a necessity. It's not a pressure or anything. Like, it's more, and it's so important, because it bends time,
yeah,
when there is this the flexibility in there. So because we always fear, okay, if I do this, and if I, like, have this, I don't know, half an hour where you just do nothing or whatever, then this half an hour goes away from my child, or I cannot do
yeah,
do that call. And then there's always this bad, like, again, I didn't do this and this, but this is wrong because time is not linear. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it is changing according to, like how you perceive it, how you attend to it, how you, like work with it. And I would love you to, within the 6 weeks, that you will be super good prepared for everything to come, like knowledge from
yeah,
the knowledge aspect, but with what you are very good at. I know this because you're taking things in, you're curious, you're noticing, but I would love that there is some time where you just, like feel and be in your body,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for
just like,
sure.
yeah. And we will get there.
Yeah, no, but I do that sometimes, like I have been working on that a lot. And that's why
Very
it's
good.
really funny because, even when my husband and him were going on holiday, he's like, oh, we're gonna do this. And and it's like, you never plan anything because I actually don't in my personal life. And they used to drive him crazy. It's like you don't make it because I'm actually quite spontaneous. You wouldn't think so. But innately I'm actually really super spontaneous. Like I like just, oh yeah, just do it. Oh yeah, let's do it, so there is that kind of um wish that my life could be more spontaneous. But I do when I don't work or like I never make plans, like it's like when we go to Abruzzo and I work from there, I don't do many calls, but I'm like super, and I used to drive my husband, it drives my husband crazy because I'll go out and then I'll just change my idea and then I would suddenly not be back for like,
Yeah.
so there I do have that element. It's
Yeah.
just
Very
finding
good.
to being able to have more access to it.
Yeah, and I can see from your face, this is the aliveness, this
Yeah,
is where you feel alive, where there's the spark, where
yeah,
there's the excitement,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
important. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, totally. I think you can even see it in my workwear, and that's why I like do this and do everything because I am spontaneous, and
yeah,
like that's actually not, you kind of have to become structured and allocated because you're ironically doing too much.
yeah,
So you're opening yourself to too many opportunities and exchanges, so you end up but no, I totally no, I'm definitely someone that likes spontaneity, and I don't like to have everything. In fact, if I go on holiday, I don't plan anything, for and it's one of the things which, as I was said to you before, go away on a family holiday and the drive my, well, what do you want? I was like, I don't know, just we'll figure it out when we get there, like as long as the place is booked, I'm like the rest I don't even read where I'm going, until I
yeah.
get there. It's
Very good.
like
Yeah,
don't know anything. Like you just said, did you read that? And I haven't read anything.
yeah, very
Um,
good.
yeah. No, it's super
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, so to finish, I would love you to, if you have the time to have a
Yeah,
look maybe
I
at,
will. Yeah, yeah.
like, yeah, the workbook, and we will meet together tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
7:30 is fine, yeah?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so with the mat and the
The
props,
blanket. I have to just
yeah.
find I find I think I've got like a
And
heavy bed cover sheet thing that could be
yeah, if you have more than one, even better. So bring everything you have.
okay.
And a chair would be good. So a firm
Okay.
chair.
Cushion and chair. Amazing.
Okay. And so just, like during the day when you're, like once in a while, just, like think of the mothering aspect.
Yes. Okay. I will.
So mothering you, it's also about food. It's everything. How
Yeah.
you would how you take care of Leopoldo.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
What
No,
do you
nice.
consider for him? So do you consider the same things for you?
Yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah. We'll do joint mothering.
Yes.
Oh no, amazing. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow morning
Yes.
and have a great day. Thank you. It's
You
very
too.
interesting. Yeah, kind of like a deep dive into like it all.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Super interesting.
No, I'm
So
excited. I think it's yeah, it's important to do these journeys and
Yeah,
be open to change and understanding and just yeah, it coming outside of your mind and looking down, to kind of,
exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
um Amazing. Okay, cool. Well, big hugs.
Yeah, big hugs back and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow morning.
Bye,
Ciao,
love.
ciao. Bye bye.